Hello, beautiful people. Lovely day. This is my attempt, good luck to me, unscripted recording while I am getting ready. And I would have turned the camera on, but no, not at this point. Anyway, okay, so I'm coming on here to basically talk about when I am going to do this, when I can sit down and basically quit fucking around with my life examples that I've actually been talking about for years, that I was going to create a list. And I don't know why I keep procrastinating it, because there's many examples. I've really only talked about 3 things, and they have had to do with assertiveness. And this is no different, because this just changed my world after self-defense and learning boundary setting. People might get sick of me talking about this, but I don't give a care, because as I'm saying, right now, I have a lot of examples to give you of how I've utilized it in my life and become stronger. And coming from that story of such helplessness, this is why this is such a big deal. And self-defense helps people on many different levels and depths, right? You don't have to have come from any sort of abuse. Well, I do think something happened to me in my past life. That's part of my story, and I have kind of dived deep into it on my blog, which I know nobody reads, and I don't go and update it over there. It's like on WordPress, just to let you know. There's like my holistic kind of everything there. And so quit fucking around means, the reason is, so today why this got inspired is my homegirl and I are going to go to Barnes and Noble, and I love bookstores. I've always been, a reader and all that. Those of you who haven't listened to me before since a teenager, took after my dad with that. And Borders, I'm really sad that they have, like, I think all of them have closed down. I don't even know. But anyway, the one in Sacramento did. And there's like a few Barnes and Nobles still around. Okay, so this one is in Brentwood. And I love Little Cafe. And, I'm the whatever, dumb coffee girl. It's not dumb coffee girl, but if I wasn't in wellness, like, I totally would have loved to just have done that, but it'd have to be diverse, right? I definitely can't talk when I'm making coffees. So inspired by Barnes and Noble, because we're going to go today. So this is when I was training, and I want to say it's in the first 5 years. I want to say that, right? And basically what I realized, I was like, why the fuck didn't I say anything? Okay, so I'm standing there looking at some of the books in one of the aisles, and basically dude just walks. So I'm only maybe like a couple of feet from actually the end of the walking aisle where somebody would walk past. And basically this guy, just to give you the visual, just, I don't know, skinny white guy, shaved head, walks directly like into my personal space, like right into the aisle, right there beside me, like way too close. And I just remember, I think my heart started racing, like right at that moment in time. He didn't say anything, and he only stood there for a few minutes. And I was conscious and aware enough to know, like, why is this happening? Like, I know how to defend myself now. It almost came like, I feel like another, like, test. Like, are you going to do something? Are you going to be scared? Are you going to whatever? And, I wasn't meant for that experience of having an assault or anything, because that's not how it works for me. But it's been a lot of this during this self-empowerment journey with the self-defense. Like, are you going to do something, right? So it has been part of a huge part of my learning personal empowerment, especially to come back and tell all of you about these kinds of stories. Okay, so basically he was only there. I mean, he may have been there for 2 minutes. And I can't remember. I think my heart was palpitating. But then he walked off. He almost, though, was jittery and shaky, like I thought he had a mental or some sort of, problem with him. But then, so I kind of got scared or whatever, and went and told one of the the book sellers, one of the customer service people, about some guy, and they went around and looked in the store, and he was gone, vanished. So almost right, like somebody just came in to basically test me and then was gone. And it's interesting, that person actually ended up going and training with me a few times. That guy, I don't know how long he continued it for. He was like one of the people that throws up on the first day, which I've kind of never understood like why that occurs, because I never had that problem. Maybe just like too excessive, right? Too much, too aggressive all at once. I don't know. So, because our workouts can definitely be intense. So, the walk away from me just wanting to talk about, and I'm going to talk about this kind of stuff, that was pretty much all to that story. But it's kind of it's just a way for me to show you not only examples of how to, in practicality, apply this in life, but my before mindset and my after. And that's a lot of what my examples are from, and from everyday life with interactions, friends, family, things, like I said, maybe due to not having social skills, not knowing how to speak nicely, when you need to be assertive and direct. And yeah, it was kind of like, what the fuck? Why didn't I say anything? And I don't know if I was studying verbal skills. So I don't know if you guys, again, have heard me talk about, I learned it in the opposite. I learned physical techniques first, and then I was like, wait a minute, I don't really know what to say to people, even like homeless people on the street, or people that are approaching you, or how would I keep somebody away from me and in my personal space that's basically like a stranger. You're only talking to them like for a few seconds. Like, there's, even knowing what I know now, I still wouldn't be like, oh, do you know about personal space? Or I mean, maybe, I guess, in that situation, I just would have been like, I would have just walked away, or maybe I would have said, is there a reason that you're so close to me? And you don't know when you're, I mean, but that's engaging, right? And I don't need to engage with somebody. I don't know what their intentions are. So this is what I talk about, is that why I love kick-ass Richie Grannon, who was one of my, I'm going to call him a mentor, because he used to be a door bouncer and he dealt with people all the time. And so he had, coming into a club or a bar or whatever it is. And I would consider him an expert. So, and he's had a lot of problematic, I guess, exes, narcissists. That's how he's become an expert in that, dealing with that. And so that's why I can tell you, like, once you become into this, once you get into this stuff, if you really get into it, it can get fun. And getting fun and feeling stronger and feeling like you can handle your business, you can handle yourself in any situation, if it's with in-laws, if it's with friends. And learning to do it compassionately is a really great way, because if you want to keep those relationships, like, I don't want to make somebody mad to make it feel like I don't want to talk to them anymore, don't be friends with them anymore. And that was my go-to growing up, so that we weren't taught how to resolve conflict. So whether it's with somebody you know or don't know. And that's why it's really rad too to see all these people out in public, not just being a bystander, and also, coming to terms with, not fearing death, and, the active shooter thing. And yeah, you gotta have a lot of balls to step in. But the fact that I hope that people are becoming more aware and understanding even about guns, because again, I was sheltered and again, fear based. The fact of just how a gun works and how to use one and all these sorts of things, to not fear it. Of course, if you're in a situation and you go into fear mode and phrase response and all these things that, the average person doesn't necessarily get into or know about, or your body reactions. This is why I could go on and on talking about this subject matter, because even after that happened, I didn't do anything, and I knew how to defend myself. So again, I don't know if I had the verbal skills, but on a basic level, like, and also, so I would almost say I froze, right? I froze because I was like, what? Like, This fool just came over here and stood beside me like it was like normal. I don't even think he was trying to look for a book, right? That was just like his way to come get close to me. If the angels came down to test me, that's what that was for. And like I said, I thought maybe there was something wrong with him. So, in a way, I kind of failed the test, right? So, you never know how you are going to react in a situation. And what I will tell you is so, all of us have different lessons in life, and the lessons are going to come about through the different people we meet, whoever comes into our life for a season or long term, right? A season, a day, a moment. And if we are paying attention and aware, you are going to see things like this. And I still think everybody is going to be tested, or a lot of people are going to be tested on basically like, are you fucking going to do something or not? Are you going to just sit there and take it? Are you going to take the way that person talks to you? Like, are you going to, like, or you're going to take it. Now, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to say something? Now, if it's your loved one or whatever, sometimes things like silence can just cut like immediately. Like, that's how you can handle it. And then it will resolve itself and different things, right? I don't know. Maybe someone goes and smokes out and then they're all fine and it's going to keep happening. Are you going to do something? Okay, what are you going to do next? How are you going to, I feel like that the longer you're with somebody, it might just be like, okay, what am I going to do this time? What am I going to do differently? You know, uh, because just I will describe it in my examples, like maybe a little bit better, is that the more you become strong in yourself, even right, with you withstand what pushes you, makes you mad, triggers, walk away, your walkaways from each experience that you have, is that once you become more stronger within yourself and trust your guidance or trust the move, it's like you start just feeling like, even with your person, right, your significant, you're like, they're a damn fool. I know myself. I know, especially with narcissistic traits, that a lot of them feel like they're correct and right. It's like, that person's a damn fool. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I'm strong in what I'm doing, and maybe they like to do things, their own way, and that's what it is, their own way. And this is my way. Just like when you're teaching somebody, it's not an arrogance, like I said, it's trusting. I almost fucking picked up, oh, good thing I was like the curling iron. was not on. I was going to pick it up by the barrel. That would have been so bad as a result of my mouth talking. This is why I can't make like talk and work, especially with coffee drinks. I've messed up a lot of drinks like that. So becoming confident in yourself that you will not budge and you will not compromise on certain things, and all those fears of like, oh, the person leaving you and this and that, and what if you piss them off, and this, it's like it again is a test. Can you hold your own, people? Can you hold your own? Do you want to hold your own? The people that are in relationships where the person's extra controlling, right? We're going to use the word, okay, controlling. Is that some people like that. Some people like makes them feel loved. So who am I or any of us to judge people's situations when, again, there are some people that like that. I know I had a friend like that. She'd be like, oh, so and so doesn't like it when I wear that. It's like, and then she would probably change. She would modify herself because he didn't like that. Maybe he's going to give her a hard time, maybe not going to give her a black eye, but going to give her a hard time. So these real life things that I don't always do in my shows, nor do I talk about it like this. And right now, I don't know if I'm going to, which playlist I'm going to put this on, but you guys will find out. So this is fun, people. I think when you realize how you can apply it in your life, you will understand more. And as far as self-defense goes, because this is kind of a disappointment, I'm going to recommend any self-defense style, any combative system, even originally, whatever's going to make you get to the class, okay? And don't be hard on yourself if you can only really get there once a week, okay? But start any combative system. Because of everything that I learned during Krav Maga, like I said, I love the drill training. I kind of was disappointed to walk away and be like, what the fuck? Even when I was thinking about teaching it long term, people don't need to know 300 different moves. You know, it is fun in learning the style and the real self defense, which is why I don't consider even Krav Maga. Uh, I consider it like parts of it real defense, not a martial art. Some people will call it that. It's not like those flowing, what are they called, like kata movements. Like you are trying to beat ass, whether it's throat striking or groin kicking or eye gouging, which is still kind of fancy. You are trying to fight for your life, people. If it was in your house, you'd probably grab a lamp. If you were outside, maybe you could look for a big rock. Like that's what the real. There's not this staging of jab, cross, hook, you know, and that serves its purpose. So if you guys haven't heard me talk about, because I know there's people that turn on this show for the first time. So I started Krav Maga, then I went to boxing. I always revert back to boxing because there's a lot of stuff in there. But I, for a short time, took Wing Chun. Definitely, I call it fancy wrestling, the jiu-jitsu. What else have I done? Of course, Muay Thai, but that was later down the road. Uh, you know, sport fighting, but Muay Boran is very similar to the old style, so I love that, but not a lot of places would teach it. And then I found Master Wong from England. He's like Vietnamese and British. Uh, his kick-ass Wing Chun is the aggressive. So I love we could train like that as the in the Shaolin Temple and do all those different things like 36 chambers. But I don't know of anywhere. I'm sure there's something in the U.S. And so, yeah, training. Just get to training and overcoming the fear of getting hurt. Yes, I did fall. Yes, I did get a lot of bruises. And just pain has always been information to me. So I think just in general, I found something I really loved. So I just would go into it and always training with guys. So it really does, yes, it builds your resilience on many levels. But it was just changed my life, rewarding, highly recommended. Yes, you have to be willing to sweat a lot, roll with people, but and you'll meet people, right? Now all the first responders are finally really getting into it, and the mindset and just commit. Like 3 months will get you pretty good if you can commit to several times a week. You'll really feel like you really have like a good footing with it, and then the sparring and everything like that. But drill training, I just love, and scenario training. We would play games, form tags, fun to do with kids, basically like tag. So I can't say enough good things about it. Just, you know, like I said, like the getting hurt, but you can totally modify and tell people, you know, don't train with certain people, especially that don't seem to act like they have any self-control. Okay, so I'm gonna do enough mouthing for now, since it does kind of drain my energy. And I will tell you, so upcoming, I'll share more stories, okay, people? And everyday life, things that we can apply. And I can almost guarantee you, you're gonna feel better and stronger in an area of your life, especially with those around us. And maybe it will help you give a better attitude, right? Because it'll be fun. And you'll be meeting people and being in community. Okay? Love you all, beautiful people. Make it a great day. Goodbye.